Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Country with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. Finally, and boy, we got a week. This is yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna start things off with this week's X-Men books because yes, there are that many. They get their own video. Starting off, we've got New Mutants number 23. Where we left off, the New Mutants proper were going to confront Shadow King. However, the Shadow King was making them play out attacks on Krakoa. Basically, everyone who would attack Krakoa attacking just all at once. The Brood, the Sentinels, just, yeah, everyone. I can't remember all of the possible threats, but yeah. And the X Club kids had decided that they were going to go and help. They were going to go and confront the Shadow King themselves, and they were on their way. And if I remember, they found the New Mutants unconscious. Yeah, they had. Yeah. So basically, we get X Club working together. It's referred to, or the Lost Club, not X Club, Lost Club. The Lost Club Psychic Rescue Circuit, astral projection, enhanced and made collective through reality manipulation, and the Lost Club Psychic Rescue, and another part of it, physiological regeneration with made collective by communal contact with living conductive water. But yeah, it's some weird stuff. They end up in the Shadow King's realm. We have we get scripted as though the Shadow King was writing a script of his life, and it's a conversation between Shadow King and Amal Farouk. Well, Amal Farouk, the boy, and the Shadow King, an echo of the beast. But with the New Mutants, they during their assault, while fighting off every threat there is, a bubble of water pops up, trying to get in touch with them and say, "Hey, you're not. You may think you're doing one thing, but you're not." But they're able to connect. Both groups are able to connect. We get another strip page. This one being the Lost Club and the New Mutants discussing opinions on things, talking about maybe there are two sides to Shadow King. Maybe he does want to help in his own way, and we can't just completely write him off. And seeing as how some of them have prior really bad experiences with the Shadow King, yeah, no. But they're not entirely open to the idea, but going through, so they have to fight. Reign gets split into 5 and they have to fight it. Then there's a point where the Lost Club and the New Mutants band together. Looks like it's Magic, Danny Moonstar, and Cosmar for Astral Fusion. But they managed to hold off. They managed to fight off Shadow King as well as their own demons. And we get some really neat art, which really reminds me of the old Stankiewicz work on the old New Mutants book in the 80s. But Shadow King is beaten, and it seems like the Amal side of him is more in control than the Shadow King. And that is where the issue ends. It's been an interesting story, that's for sure. It's kind of been hard to connect with it just because most of the characters are ones that I don't know too well. Even some of the older, like the New Mutants, the members of the New Mutants, it's hard to connect with them for me because just when I got into comics, some of them were just kind of they existed, but they were off to the side making guest spots, and just. And in the case of Magic, she was dead. So, though that Magic's actually one of the ones I actually really, I don't know what it is. With hers, like I get that, I get it. But yeah. Anyway, it's been an interesting story, and it's been really interesting to look at as well. But anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got X-Men number 5. Where we left off, the High Evolutionary informed the X-Men of that the attempts made against the Earth recently were all coming from one specific spot, Game World. Also, Ben Urich had gotten an autopsy report from Orcus. An autopsy report on one Scott Summers from his death aboard the Orcus Forge in House of X. So the issue begins in Mexico today, it says. The X-Men in general are fighting the Reavers. The Reavers have been hired to destabilize, for voter suppression purposes. They're using among the weapons they're using are non-lethal tranks, and but the first one of the X-Men to wake up is Polaris. They broke her glasses and spilled her coffee. She's not happy. So, she uses her magnetic powers to basically turn Wolverine into a club to bludgeon them with. We also get a flashback to the Hellfire Gala. It turns out that initially, Lorna's initial thought on joining the X-Men was pick me, then it became anyone but me. Or pick anyone but me. And Jean decided to go with Lorna's first impulse. They talked about it, and yeah. But we also get a lot of what Lorna's been going up to lately. Bring up the fact that she has a PhD in, I'm guessing, nuclear physics. She's helping to stop a meltdown at a plant. And the melting down cores then injected into the sun. Then we get another battle with what turns out to be a group of basically genetically engineered monster animals from our Dr. Stasis of Orcus. Among them is a seal puppy, which Lorna finds to be adorable, but, well, as it won't fight, Dr. Stasis kills it. But, so yeah. Lorna deals with the Reavers via Wolverine. Then Wolverine wakes up and takes over. And Lorna gets new shades from one of the Reavers. Jean and Lorna discuss what happened at the Hellfire Gala, and there's some people. I kind of feel like I feel like it harkens back to an all-new X-Men when young Jean Grey accidentally outed Bobby to everyone, including Bobby, making Iceman realize he was gay and basically announcing it to the rest of the team in front, herself rather than. I feel like this was kind of. I feel like this kind of harkens to that. It's not as bad, but I can see why there are people who've been talking about the issue that don't like it. It does feel a little yikesy. But she sent a letter. Apparently, Polaris sent a letter to North Star saying the next time there's an X-Men election, she's advocating for him. She's going to advocate for him to be on the team. And there's also an open letter to all New Yorkers of a Thanksgiving meal at the X-Men Treehouse, which we get to see part of that. And it's not just the team; it's also others involved. including Emma. But Ben Urich shows up, and he and Scott go for a walk, and Ben tells him about the autopsy report he got. He says, I'm telling you ahead of before it goes out, before the story goes out, so you can figure out what your statement, how you're going to respond." And Dr. Stasis is watching and rather enjoying the show. But that is where the issue ends. I'm really liking X-Men. I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about that bit with Jean and Lorna. I really don't. It does seem. That seems like a Charles Xavier thing to do, not a Jean Grey thing to do. So, yeah. But overall, it's a good. It's been a good issue. It's nice to see kind of. Polaris has been a long time background member of the X-Men, and it's nice to see. Hell, it's nice to see an issue focusing on her. I don't think there's been a book that took an issue to just focus on Polaris since Peter Davis wrote on X Factor in the '90s. That's been that was 25 to 30 years ago. So yeah. But anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got The Trial of Magneto, number 4. Where we left off, the Scarlet Witch had returned via the Resurrection Protocols, so with an old backup. But on another plane, she was faced with her older self. And so the issue begins. Showing the resurrection, which was done by Hope just very quickly because okay, shit's getting out of hand. Yeah. Oh, another thing that happened where we left off is kaiju attack on Krakoa, but everyone's trying to make everything work out, but yeah, the kaiju attack is continuing. Wiccan and Speed are trying to help Wanda, but it's hard because being an old backup, she doesn't know who they are. In another realm, old Wanda and modern Wanda are going head to head, and apparently the kaiju attacking Krakoa are manifestations of her power. And Wiccan also realizes and tells her what's going on. Resurrected Wanda refuses to believe it. But then the three Wandas merge, kind of. Basically, old Wanda, modern Wanda, and resurrected Wanda merge, while old Wanda helps with getting rid of the kaiju. Also, loss of eyes to get the weak points with the eyes. So Wolverine starts stabbing eyes on the kaiju, that is. But there's a merging. There's the merging. Magneto's, of course, thrilled to see his surrogate daughter, his daughter of sorts, back, and back how she was when he last saw her. She explains, yes, the kaiju was a manifestation. The kaiju were because of her. The X-Men, of course, the people of Krakoa are not happy about this, and there are people trying to. Wiccan and Speed in it are the first to kind of try to stand between Wanda and the people of Krakoa, and now the Avengers, as well as members of X Factor and the X-Men, are doing the same. Which is where the issue ends. Oh, and there's the fact that she says she knows who attacked her. Interesting stuff. It's odd. I'm not sure if it's the kind of odd that I like, but it's odd. I'm really looking for. For no other reason, I'm looking forward to learning just who it was that attacked her. I'm not entirely sure that it's Mystique. I know that Mystique sounds like an obvious one, and there was that whole thing with the Cerebro helmet, with Rachel seeing the stolen Cerebro helmet, Magneto taking the Cerebro helmet, but Inferno explained that was Mystique, and that had nothing to do with what happened to Wanda. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to find out just who the culprit is. But moving on to our next book, we've got Marauders number 26. Where we left off, this doesn't continue directly from the last issue, which, yeah, the Marauders were in space, dealing with an interstellar contact of Emma's who betrayed them to take his ship back, but they managed to survive the vacuum of space through some rather intriguing methods. And, yeah. So that's taken care of. So we open with a quote from Iceman. I haven't slept a hell of a lot since that night, since Araco. I find myself lying awake and wondering what else I can do. Now, for those who may be unaware, Iceman was among those who helped terraform Mars. He helped terraform an entire planet. So yeah, I can imagine, the comic relief member of the X-Men doing something like that, kind of thinking, wow, what else can I really do? So yeah, it's kind of neat actually. But so we got two stories. On the one hand, we've got Donald Pierce, or not Donald Pierce, wrong member of the old Hellfire Inner Circle. We've got Sebastian Shaw and Emma Frost dealing with the recently resurrected Harry Leland. Harry Leland was a member of the old school Hellfire Club Inner Circle from the Claremont run. He died of a heart attack while fighting Nimrod. His powers are density manipulation. So yeah, he can make something really heavy or really light. But they explain that he says he has these strange dreams of dying while fighting a Sentinel, much like Chantal. More on that later. But he steps through a metaphorical gate and comes out onto Krakoa and sees the whole thing, and he's brought to tears just because it's everything they wanted. And also, Emma catches him up on what he's missed over the last few years. But Shaw explains the business side of things, and extends an offer to Harry. Be Krakoa's voice of the United Nations. So our other story, the Marauders are using a much older boat, as their previous boat was destroyed, to deliver casks of whiskey to Madripoor. However, they're attacked by Fin Fang Foom, who is drunk. He just won a whole bunch of fights, but he decides, hey, he's gonna just drink the Krakoan liquor because, hey, it's right here, it's in the sky even. But Iceman goes after him to stop him and gets chomped. And he's like, okay, that, you know, Foom figured that's it for Iceman. However, Foom starts to realize that the ocean waters that he's in is feeling suddenly a bit colder as a giant version of Iceman comes out of it. And yeah, a straight on flame blast from Fin Fang Foom melts him a little bit, but not, he can reform. And he does. He beats Foom and of course Foom stomps off saying, you only won because, I'm already drunk from celebrating my wins. And Bobby chucks another cask of the whiskey at him. One for the road. But Bobby tells the rest of the crew that he's feeling a little amped up and doesn't feel like scaling down just yet, so he's going to meet them back on Krakoa. And meanwhile, back on Krakoa with Harry and Sebastian, there is a matter that Sebastian has been wanting, or that has been brought up to Shaw that he feels he must bring up with Harry Leland. His son, Shinobi. Oh, Shaw's son, Shinobi. His powers seem to be along the same lines as Harry Leland's, not Sebastian Shaw. So Sebastian Shaw can absorb kinetic energy and use it to amplify his own physical strength. Shinobi Shaw, his son, can manipulate gravity and density, kind of like Harry Leland. Interesting. But they argue, they fight a bit, and Shaw explains he's not trying to, he's not on to start. If Shinobi is really Harry's son, he's not trying to start a fight over it. He just wants Harry to know he has a son. And it turns out that the two of them shared a lover back in the days. Shinobi's mother. Shinobi's mother contacted Sebastian and explained she was pregnant and it was either Harry or Sebastian. And Shaw figured it was his because, he's the one that she contacted. And Shinobi is ill prepared for the warm reception he receives from his actual father, who hugs him. But we also get to see Harry's debut at the United Nations with the UK ambassador saying how can any of us respect Krakoa when they won't even deign to to appoint someone to this council. And then Harry shows up, apologizes for his absence. There's also a letter from Emma to Harry about how things will be done with him being UN ambassador. They will still be sending diplomatic pouches to him, but there's not going to be anything of import. Everything concerning what's to be said at the UN will actually be transmitted from Emma to one of the cuckoos to Harry, one of the cuckoos will be his assistant. But elsewhere in New York, though, a young woman is approaching one of the Krakoan gates, and some ruffians and some guys try to start shit with her, and they fucked around, and then they found out as the young woman walks toward the gate, and that is where the issue ends. And I'm pretty sure that young woman is in fact Chantal. And so, it'll be Harry's turn to learn that, she's not really dead. But moving on to our last book for the moment, we've got X-Force Killshot. Kind of because I hate myself. X-Force Killshot is the X-Force 30th Anniversary Special, drawn by Rob Liefeld. The story by Rob Liefeld and script by Chad Bowers. I could give this its own video, and I'm not sure I could explain it in a manner that makes sense, but I'm going to try to do it quickly. Cable's going after Strife, who has an orbital base now called Asteroid S. It's during the Krakoan era on at least on an Earth. I don't know if it's supposed to be Earth 616 or what, but yeah. But he's put together an X-Force team consisting of himself, another Cable, Major X, Shatterstar, Domino, Warpath, Deadpool, another Cable, another Major X, another Shatterstar, another Domino, The Thing, another Deadpool, another Cable, another Major X, another Shatterstar, another Domino, or yeah, another Domino. This one seeming to be Domino from Deadpool 2, Venom Pool, and then another. Wait. Deadpool, another Deadpool, and yeah, another Deadpool. Whew. And so, and Cannonball's there, but he wasn't shown as being part of the team. So yeah, they attack the Mutant Liberation Front on Asteroid S. The usual Liefeldian visuals follow. Apparently Reaper was in Major X's timeline. Reaper was highly regarded as one of Strife's most ruthless and efficient enforcers. I mean, sure, if you say so. But so yeah, he gets taken down. Dreadpool attacks them, and he gets taken down. And yeah, Strife's watching everything, and being Strife. Wild-sided Deadpool duke it out, arguing over which one talks the most. Venom Pool and Forearm fight it out. But one of the Cables is killed. Strife is defeated. And apparently Cable had a deal with another entity, and so because of that deal, though, yeah, I think Strife and Zero are turned over, and in the last bit, another Deadpool shows up, and another Venom Pool, and Wolverine. And yeah, this deal that was made by Cable, yeah, he's taking Zero and Strife. And whoever it is he made a deal with is like, until next time, to which Cable says, next time I'll have a bigger gun. And that is where the issue ends. It's funny, the Thing was part of that X-Force. I really don't recall there being any major plot points except for, hey look, it's the Thing. Because, the Thing, long history with X-Force. Long history. Killshot is a book you don't really need to read. You just need to look at the pictures and there, done. But then again, yeah. It's a book that would have actually fit perfectly well on the shelf 25 to 30 years ago. Now it's just, whatever. But anyway, that's to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.